Now, the Make Bitcoin Legal Tender momentum is growing across North America. How are some states and even Canada reacting to this?
Yeah, so one of the big news pieces was in Arizona, there was a bill put through to make Bitcoin legal tender. The likelihood of this passing is pretty low just because Wyoming had tried to do this already and they said it was unconstitutional. But it's cool to see that these movements are being pushed through. And it's also interesting because there is this, you and I talk about this sometimes, but the way that states are moving, the way that people are moving, the migration of humans to different areas of the world that are going to make certain areas of the world want to operate on a Bitcoin-based legal tender system. This is why you're seeing a huge migration to El Salvador of people that are like, I'm getting behind this movement because I believe in the philosophy of Bitcoin. So, Arizona did put this through. And I think for one, it's a signal, hey, we're open for cryptocurrency business, even if this is or is not going to be accepted. There's a lot of crypto and Bitcoin mining that happens in Arizona. So there's that. I mean, most likely won't pass because we already saw it not pass with Wyoming when they tried that. And then you're seeing other places like, for example, in obviously Miami, you're seeing the mayor trying to accept his salary in Bitcoin. The CIO of the city also trying to accept his salary in Bitcoin. You're seeing a huge push in these local areas. And I think that's what's really powerful. It's really powerful when local governments get together and they're interested in this. Another thing on a larger scale is there's some big business leaders in Canada, specifically Tahini's restaurants, talking about adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet of Canada and making Bitcoin legal tender. This is not a politician, this is a businessman, but it's people want a more sound system for their money. So it's across the board. There's just, so there are people who are in government that are, we'll say, fiscally conservative, and they understand Bitcoin from this perspective that we need to get to something that is more sustainable. And they probably are thinking along the same lines that I am, that there's nothing we can do to roll back what we've already done in terms of printing money. And so maybe porting over to a new system makes sense. A lot of times people say that we're going to go back to the gold standard, which that would be great. The price of gold would skyrocket. And you would have to probably do something where you account for all the paper gold that's being traded right now. But with Bitcoin, if we went to a Bitcoin standard, it would be very similar to going to a gold standard, but much more transparent and high tech. So you're just seeing states, this article says like Wyoming, Texas, Arizona, Kentucky, North Dakota, Michigan, and others attempting to court Bitcoiners with tax breaks and favorable regulation. You're seeing places like Puerto Rico have a huge influx of cryptocurrency investors because they have their Act 22 where people are exempt from capital gains taxes. So there is a real migration that's happening with human minds, right? People who think together, they're going to live in the same areas of the world. And I think that one of those deciding factors is Bitcoin regulation and how the leaders in that local area decide to respond to this technology.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the printing of money, I mean, it is out of control in Canada and the United States, and the business owners see that there is an option. And I think that's where they're going with trying to push the Bitcoin as an option to the currencies that are losing value drastically due to the overprinting.